on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of whatsNurs, the talk show where we give it to you raw and uncut, agree to disagree, but it's just our thoughts. I'm your host, T. Martin. Co-host DJ Unk ain't here today, man. He on vacation, but shout my boy out.
Yeah.
And we got a very, very, very special episode today. Got my boy. He came to chop it up with me, man. This man right here, he's an entrepreneur, a mentor. He's one of the first person I know that did it the right way. Damn, they're like a pioneer to this shit, man. Give it up for my boy Reggie, man. Give it up for my boy Reggie.
That's love. Thank you, brother. Yo, man, good to see you, bro.
How you feeling today, King? How you feeling,
man? Good, man. Thanks for having me, man. I'm excited to be here, man. Kicking with my boy. You know what I'm saying? We go way back, so, cameras don't know that, but we go way back, man. Word. How you been?
I've been all right, man.
Good, bro.
Let the people know a little bit about yourself, especially for the ones who don't know you.
For sure, man. So, again, my name is Reggie Keefe. I'm actually the founder and CEO. My actual title is Director of Strategic Advancement for Canna House Micro. We're a New York State licensed micro business. So we actually, for folks who don't know, we can do full vertical integration. So we can plant the flower and grow it. We can cultivate it, manufacture it, and produce products like dirty lemonade. Our first product on the shelves. We can get to that in a second. We can retail as well. So we have a retail location. And then, of course, we started off with on-site consumption. Our origin was in the legacy side. Throwing events, puffing paints, murder mysteries, cooking with cannabis, that was our groove. So, that's always going to be at the heart of what we want to do. And so eventually we'll have on-site consumption as well. But yeah, man, that's kind of what I do as a full-time day job now. Is I'm a cannapreneur, bro.
Come on, I like that word. I like that. Hey, well, man, we going up, so man, we like to get in the bus. It be seatbelts, no seatbelts.
All right.
I can't promise you a safe time, but I can promise you a good time.
I can live with that. I appreciate that. I can appreciate that.
Word,
all right, let's do it.
Let's take this shot, man. Okay. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, brother.
Man. I appreciate you coming, dog.
You, man.
Salute to y'all. Grab your shots out.
All
right. Bust up.
Yeah.
Bust up.
Okay.
All right, well, man, let's get the ball rolling. Shit, what made you want to get into the cannabis industry?
Man, so that's a loaded question, man. So right, so like if we go into like the long answer, it's like my cultural influence, right? Like just growing up in the hood, just having access to it. My friends having it, those influences early. I was one of those early consumers, right? 13, 14, right? I got a funny story I always tell. Me and my god brother, you know what I mean? We, Chronic was out, right? So we saw the plant. You just see the plant. I never seen weed itself, the bud. We roll up now, we smoke. I just seen the plant, man, the Chronic plant. So we had a tree that grew across the street. I lived across the street from Humboldt Park. And so it was a tree, a leaf. The leaf looked like it, man. It was long. That's what I'm trying to say. It looked like it looked like it because we called it the Chronic tree. Okay. And so one day, I don't know what a blunt is, but I know it looked like a paper bag. So I got a paper bag. I got the Chronic tree. I rolled my first blunt. I almost killed myself, bro. I almost died. You know what I'm saying? Me and my god brother, man.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, man. So that was kind of my origin, just in terms of like I knew I was intrigued by it. And so later on that summer, I actually got with some of my boys in around the way, and they put me on, rolled up an actual joint, we smoked, and that was my first intro. And so I always had a relationship with the plant. And so as I got older, I go to college, everybody experiment, you got to access your plant when you out of town. So you buy a pack enough to smoke, and then you sell a little bit to, smoke for free. So I did that, through college, and that just kind of taught me transacting with the plant on both sides, right? More than just a consumer, also being a provider, what customers were looking for. And so while I was going through school learning real education, I was also, kind of getting that game too.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man, eventually, New York State started to look like it was shaping up to be a legal cannabis state, right? There, federal law started to be a little more lax on hemp. And that became, federally legal. And we started to see, kind of the writing on the wall.
Right,
that yo,
right.
this is
That's
coming. This is gonna be here, man. And so yeah, it got me to shaping my brain. I had really honed my skills in terms of customer relations. I worked corporate sales for Microsoft and for Samsung for quite a few years, just moving around the country doing corporate sales. And so I just had some talent, some transferable skills, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, how can I get into cannabis with this?
Right.
So legislation started to shape up. Shout out to Crystal People Stokes. I'll never get in front of a camera and not shout out my girl, the godmother.
Shout her out.
You know what I mean?
Shout her out.
The majority leader over at the Assembly in New York. She's had an amazing run. What a legacy. But yeah, this is her baby, right? She was shaping up legislation, man, and we started to see like, okay, she was given a blueprint. Like, if you're interested, you need to follow these steps.
Right.
And so we took exactly what she said and followed that to the T, man. And I did my thing in terms of walking the fine line, right? Because as legislation was foreign things was happening, we always call it the gray area. You know what I'm saying?
We all have them.
You know what I mean? When that gray area was around, when they were figuring things out, we started to find our identity. We decided to go with private club, under the protection of a membership. We started bringing people in. We grew the membership to about 3,000 members. And again, we were hosting these activity-based events across the city, really across the state, and eventually across the country. We hosted something at the Super Bowl in Arizona a couple years back.
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
No, that was a good time. Good time.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that was a good time.
It was lit, man. So yeah, man, just that kind of those steps to understanding like, okay, we have a real impactful imprint on industry. And at the forefront of that, we were always thinking about like, as consumers in our community, we're often looked at as just a consumer.
Right.
And we're always on getting a check written to us. We're never writing the checks. And we were just thinking like, yo, man, somebody's going to come in the community and they're going to run cannabis to people that look like us.
Right.
At the very least, we need an ambassador. We need somebody that's like, all right, if you want to talk to us, these are our demands, though. We're going to go back to our people and see what y'all want to do. You're just going to come over here and just throw a 5% coupon at us and just be like, yeah, I'm gonna stand up to your industry. Right. So that was important for us, man. So yeah, we went hands-on, being responsible. We started to shape, again, a real, I would say, a mature identity, past the events, past just gathering people. We saw we had a social responsibility. And so, we started leaning on our 4 pillars, advocacy for the consumer, education of the consumer, again, staying traditional to our safe spaces and creating those dope events, and then products, right? We figured those 4 pillars allow us 4 really impactful touch points to a consumer's life. And our mission is always to improve the value or the ease of a consumer's life. Right, that's what we set out to do, and if we could do that all the time, we know we'll be in business. You know what I'm saying? So,
for real.
Yeah, man, that's it was a long answer, but essentially, that's
people
really
need to hear that.
That's how we got there, man. And thinking about those things, being intentional and considerate about how we actually showed up authentically as us, making sure that we didn't drown ourselves out into some kind of corporate structure. Cannabis was just being formed, and it had no identity as a corporate identity, like what it looked like as an industry. We knew it as weed. It's funny, even hearing us talk about saying cannabis so freely now, where we just saying cannabis, like we never use that word.
They done threw out the weed. They done threw out the weed word.
We don't even say weed no more. You sound like you old.
You OG, nickel bag. No, it don't work like that anymore.
Everybody doing that. I got no nick for you, huh? I ain't got no nicks for you. But yeah, man, just seeing the maturation of things, and that foresight really kind of led us down the path of like, hey, man, let's get into this. Let's do it the right way. Let's figure out how to be legal. And we just chased that shit down. We just walked it down. So yeah, bro.
Man, for real, big ups. Give you your flowers, man.
Thank you, man.
Keep going, because that right there is a big accomplishment, bro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate that, man. I mean, it's put on for the city, dog. You know
for
what I'm
real.
saying? For real, that's what we want to do, man. The community is behind us. They've been giving us a ton of support. That's really our bloodline, for real.
Yeah,
for real.
Y'all do a lot of things for the community and with the community and in the community.
In the community,
Come on,
I mean? That's we from it. You know what I mean? It's so important. I think we always talked about like, when big money comes into the sector, you're gonna see it because it's gonna show up, it's gonna be loud, but it won't have any culture connected to it. Right. And so that's us. We always talk about, we don't got maybe the financial capital, but we got cultural capital.
For real.
We cultural billionaires.
That's big.
Right. So, the same way we look at somebody that has $1 billion or, expendable cash in the millions that could come in and finance our business to take us to the next level, they also need an injection of culture to make sure that they're viable in an industry that runs on culture. You know what I mean? We runs on culture right now. And so unless we let them whitewash it, and again, the identity of legal cannabis is void of culture, then we don't have that. Then our cultural capital, the dollar go down. You know what I mean? We lose value in that currency if we allow that. So that's why it's important to make sure that we show up again, authentically us with that culture, so they know that, hey, you can be like this and be successful. You don't got to throw out, where the origins, the street. You don't got to throw that out, man. We can show up like this. I just was on Capitol Hill. I just came back from DC, lobbying for a bill, and I showed up, cafe hat.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Suit. But I need to understand that that's how we move around. And I don't need to necessarily shuck and jive to get your attention.
For real. I want to be me because I'm gonna be me at all times. If it's up, down, I'm messing with you, I'm not.
That's it.
This is what you get.
That's what you get.
And that's how you're supposed to be.
And I need you to do that so you can genuinely support me or step off.
Right. And I ain't gonna be mad.
Either choice is good with me. I just want to make sure you're making an educated decision because you met me. You know what I'm saying? Because you met me and I was consistently me. And as long as that's the case, I'm good with the results.
Nah, for real. Hell, me too. Nah, for real.
Word, bro.
So, how did you come up with your brand, the name of your brand? Give me run that down.
Yo, that's crazy. Shout out to my boy Ant Shower. Man, Ant is a graphic designer, super talented, man. Super talented. Ant, man, you ready to come over to the industry, bro? I need you. You feel me? But
come on, my boy.
Yeah, come on through. My boy had a print shop downtown on Allen Street. You know what I'm saying? And we had met because I used to do a project. Shout out to my brother Shine. He helped me produce my first ever public production. It was called the Now That You Mention It Project.
Okay.
And so it was a similar situation. We used to bring in guests from different viewpoints of a specific topic, right? If it was, we had Trayvon Martin was a big one that we did, and we brought a cop in, we brought a parent in, brought somebody from the streets, right? And we had these different perspectives intertwined. And it was really healthy conversations. And I wish we could have continued that, just went by the wayside. But if anybody got that idea, please run with it, bring it. We need it. But Ant was a big part of helping us with the marketing. He did all the flyers and helped us with the graphics, and so we developed a dope relationship. And so it was amazing to see how I never met anybody that could take what I had in my brain and then turn it into something in a graphic. It was the first time I had that kind of synergy with any other creator. You know what I mean? And we would sit for hours, bro. Real. And I just told him what I wanted out of the brand. I just wanted it to be consistent. I wanted it to be something people could say. I wanted it to be acceptable. I didn't want to have a little edge. And everybody was, I guess, weed puns were being tossed around all the time at that time. And, again, cannabis was kind of just coming along. And I started a delivery company with my first entry into this space. But the legislation wasn't caught up yet. So it wasn't legal for me to do it. But Can of Port was the first iteration of what I wanted to do. I just saw a value there. I was like, hey, there's a need. There's patients in the city. They don't want to go to the dispensaries. I go to the dispensaries all the time. This is when it was just a medical program. If they need their product, I could be able to get it and get it to them. It made sense to me, but the law didn't allow that. You know what I'm saying?
So no, my brother. Hold on now.
Allegedly. So so I took that and I really loved the thought that Can of Port was very descriptive. Okay. It was clean. And I felt like, it kind of gave me Kaufman's, JCPenney, that elegance. And so the franchise, right? It was like, oh yeah, I could see this having some longevity. And so, yeah, Canna House kind of was birthed out of that. Also, I thought of just we wanted to be the house, that, you know, kind of cannabis is engulfed in. Like, you know, essentially we've kind of morphed into like a resource center. So again, the thought was like, how can we house the things that people need when they think about cannabis?
That's fire.
You know, so our first, again, entry into that was like, let's do some social shit. That's how we got into the events. But again, as we matured, we started thinking about how we could be more responsible and be more valuable to the people. And so, yeah, man, Canna House was the name. And once we had the name, you know, then it was about the look. Yeah. You know what I mean? That logo was important, bro. That logo is important, man. So, yeah, that was the next step, man. And help us really bring that to life. Word.
That's sweet.
Word.
That's fire.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you, bro.
That's fire.
Word.
So, you know what I mean? Weed legal now, cannabis legal now. And so, but now they use it as like, they have purpose for medical use. You know what I mean? So different strands will help you with like back pains or anxiety or depression.
For sure.
Like, let's talk a little bit like that. You know what I mean? Because you the one that need to be, I
love this.
Talk that talk.
Nah, I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd when it comes to the weed.
Let the people, educate the people, man.
All right. First of all, if anybody want to get further into their education, I don't get paid for them. Nobody gives me no money from them. Cannabis Training University. I tell everybody is the foundation that took my knowledge of cannabis from like street knowledge to like institutional information, right? It was able to pair my experiences because I knew most of this shit. I just never knew the terms for it. I never knew the language for it. And so, you know, getting foundational education really is important to kind of like leveling up your shit. So I say that to say, there's a myth about indica and sativa. Okay. Right? So I'm gonna get a little.
So what is sativa and indica?
Okay.
For the people who don't know.
All right. So often we categorize cannabis like we smoke, and it does two things for you. It kind of gives you energy and gets you up, or it kind of takes you down, right? And so the way we've categorized that is sativa being the upper, indica being the downer. Think about it as in the couch.
Oh shit.
Indica puts you in the couch.
Okay.
And sativa is an upper. Okay. Right. And so that's kind of how it's usually broken down. That is kind of a put it like this. We haven't had a ton of research scientifically because of the restrictions legally on the plant. Okay. So you don't have a lot of medical papers. You don't have a bunch of research that most I would say typical things that has this much chemistry involved and things that have these many effects. Maybe even some like I'm thinking of like psychedelics, right? Okay. Even some of that stuff, right? You know, came from experiments, right? Some of that stuff, opioids and things like that. So there's some medical research that was done to kind of tell more about the components of those plants. But I mean, of those products, but for the plant, for cannabis itself, that was the easiest way for them to categorize shit. Okay. Indica sativa, right? Okay. Which, for the sake of things, fair. Okay. Right? The truth behind that is, yes, there are effects that the plant will have on you once you consume it. Okay. There's other determining factors other than just indica sativa, the how they've been grouped. Right. The truth is probably more or less is terpenes. You think about like maybe even what's a good smell? Lavender. Okay. Right. Okay. Like when you smell, you open up and you smell that's terpenes. Okay. Right? That's the flowers terpenes, that smell that. So that's what you get when you think about you open up your bag of bud and you're like, ooh, this smells like some gas, right? You smelling different terpenes. It might be a micronine or it might be limonade. And these are things that are associated with like lemon, a citrus smell, or earthy smell, right? And it's not that these things are bad, right? It's just like you have to understand how those components then affect people. And so I always tell people, look into the terpene profile. As soon as you get some weed, Google it. I like a couple of different sites. Shout out to Weed Maps. But there's a couple of different sites you can look at and get some details about your product. And hopefully, if you're shopping in the stores, you know what I mean? I mean, shout out to my legacy folks, come on over, transition over, you know what I mean? I know it's a higher uphill battle, but come on over. But if you are, wherever you're getting your product from, it's important to be educated on it. Right. And so one of the things you can do for yourself is just look up the profile of the terpenes that you're smoking in your strain. And what that'll also help you do is shop better. You know, sometimes people, it's you shopping and you are guessing. Oh, I think I want this because it had this name, right? But you go from this store to another store or from state to state, and while it has the same name, it might be grown by a different person. It may be a whole different cut, maybe totally different genetics, right? So what you're expecting maybe from that sour bubble diesel that you got when you went to that one store may not be what you get from another store. But what will be consistent is the terpenes, right? So if you're looking for limonene or again micronine or some others slip my name right now, but those are two that pop up. But if you're looking for those, you can say, hey, bud tender, when I go into the dispensary, or I'm looking for, hey, Mr. Dealer, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Dealer sound crazy.
And even if you are in the streets, though, this is how you make your dealers step their shit up.
Right.
Yo, I shop by terpenes now, bro.
Right.
So when I come in here, can you point me to the terpenes I'm looking for? If he don't know that, maybe
you might educate him.
Maybe you shouldn't be shopping there.
Right.
Or maybe he got to step his game up. And this is how we all hold the industry accountable. Everybody rises because the educated consumer makes an educated industry. Okay. And the industry, it can be more successful there, right? And so I say all that to say, man, that when we get into the science of how cannabis works with your body, those are some of the things that, one, I want to kind of break that myth, you know what I mean? And then two, we all have the oldest system in our body, our nervous system, all of these systems, is called the endocannabinoid system. Again, it's all research you guys can do. I swear I'm not just talking on my ass. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know this until I got into the space though, right? That we have receptors on our body that are built to interact with the plant, right? That's why you can, you know, maybe process the plant into a rub or a lotion. And then I apply it to my hand to a specific place. The receptors in my skin and on my body are interacting with the chemistry of the plant, now that I transferred it into a lotion, and it is now addressing my problem, my inflammation, right? Or my pain, whatever's going on where I applied it. That's actual science. It's not, we didn't luck into these effects. And so understanding that properly is really a big part of how you actually consume and have a kind of a mature relationship with the plant, so that it's also helping you while you socializing. Because that was a big part of kind of like my growth too. It was like, yo, I've been consuming since I was 13. I've been doing it on this, you know, just having fun, going out, burning, smoking, playing the game, just getting high. You know what I'm saying? That's love. But as I got older and I'm experiencing pains and I'm hooping and I'm like, damn, my back hurts a little bit. You know, I'm like, man, everybody telling me, you know, cannabis is this miracle plant, but I wasn't applying it properly, right? You know, and so finding my cannabis diet was super important, right? And we always say that. It's like, hey, what is your, you know, what is your entourage effect? Could be said in different ways, but this is how I'm using it in this way. But what is your entourage effect in terms of how you're using it? Right. You know, I used to be, yo, shit, I'm a 4 or 5 blunt person a day. But now I might hit a blunt in the morning, clip it. Midday, I might drink a lemonade, right? That's gonna coast me through. I might hit a vape in about an hour, right? Might throw a gummy at night to put me to sleep. Now I only went through 1 blunt, right? Or I might even have that clip for the ashtray in the morning, right? You know, and so understanding that helped me have a healthier way of consuming, for one. And then two, it just helped me have a better relationship with like what's going on with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I could still have some of the effects that I want if I microdose. If I hit it a couple times opposed to smoking a whole blunt. Well, let me see how that works. And so all of that goes into like, you know, a user's or a consumer's relationship and how they see the benefits past, you know, socialization. And then we get into, like you said, some of those health benefits where, you know, it is super important towards, you know, epislepsy, child epilepsy. That's kind of like where we kind of got our origin for medical acceptance. Because with child epilepsy, is amazing developments there. Cancer patients, right? You know, helping with some of those symptoms. And so we've seen leaps and bounds of improvements and interactions with patients. And there's so much more to go, bro. Honestly, like I said, as it gets more legal and federal government takes its hands off things, you know, we start to see more research. We start to really see, you know, where we can target our efforts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fair.
Word.
So let's get back on that Super Bowl joint. Tell us a little bit about that. That whole concert, the whole thing.
Man,
I know it was a time.
Bruh.
I know it was a
we
time.
tossed it up. We took our families out there. You know what I'm saying? Mom Dukes, my grams. Shout out, man. Rest in peace, my grams. It was the last trip we ever went on out of town. Got her out to Arizona, man. And then we had 6 interns. So we brought 6 canterpreneurs that are budding canterpreneurs that were really looking to find their way, had a passion for it. It was called the Super Vibe, very intentional Black experience, right? That's what we use as the acronym for Vibe, because that's what we show up authentically as ourselves. That's what people expect when they invite us places. And so through relationships, because that's really honestly how things have been happening for us, right? Is again that cultural capital we have, and we leverage that in our relationships. And so through a relationship that Shine had, the opportunity presented itself to us, we were able to go down and be official lounge of what was called a Consumption Park for Super Bowl weekend. And it was great, man. We had some dope people come through. Lamar Odom came through. We met a couple athletes. Did some press runs out there. It was just really lit, bro, to just see the industry evolving like that in another space, going out of town, just seeing where cannabis could take you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just smoking in my backyard, bro.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Now I done took,
seeing the world.
15 people across the country. We staying in this joint 4 or 5 days. We in a mansion. We got a pool. You know what I mean? People are, so it just was, when we got the opportunity, the first thing we thought of was like, all right, how can we expose the rest of our people to this? Yeah. This can't just be an experience that we only can come back and tell people about, right? And so, to qualify people for that, we just thought like, hey, let's just narrow it down to people that really want to get into the industry. And so we went through an interview process, interviewed about 25 folks, narrowed it down to 10, and then we had a final 7 that made the cut. One of our guys had to drop out, but yeah, the 6 that finally made it through, out of that 6, 3 of them are license holders, bro.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? So we all pushed them. Shout out to our boy Mike Golden. Shout out to Franklin Cockrell. Again, we got licensed as well, and so. It was just dope to see, the intention that we went down there with, and now seeing some of that payoff. But bro, to your point though, yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. It was a great time. You know what I'm saying?
It was.
But honestly, it's funny, bro, because we worked a lot.
I was just about to say you worked.
We worked so much, bro. We worked so much, man. I'm a perfectionist. My team, they tell me all the time. They call me italics sometimes because, everybody can write normal shit, and I just put my shit in italics. Yeah. But I think that's important. It's the intentionality of the details that set you apart, right? That's really your sauce. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what gives you your flavor. That's why the recipe is yours. So everybody making greens, if your greens is fire, because it's this little thing that you do that make your shit different than everybody else's. And I think that's super important. But it does make me a perfectionionist. It makes me kind of like,
still business.
Everything is business. You know what I mean? So I'm just making sure everybody having a good time. My mom and them had a great time, and she enjoyed herself. My aunts and my cousins came down. My wife was there. So it was just it was good to see my family have a good time, and they supported and just poured into us. So I just enjoyed that, man. It was one of the real times that helped me identify, like, oh no, I'm really in this.
Yeah, I'm here.
Long time, like long term, like this it. You know what I mean? Like whatever happens in life, it's gonna be off the foundation of this.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah, man. It was dope though. It was dope. It was dope.
The saying, what's the saying? If you love what you do, you'll never work a day.
You'll never work a day in your life.
Nah, you working, but it don't feel like you working.
Hey, I'll put it like this, bro. I worked 30 years for somebody, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't get nearly out of it what I get out of it now. No. It was for me. I'm building it for me. If I was going to do this work for somebody, I might as well do it for my family.
For
real.
You
know what I mean? And help grow the legacies around me and my friends. Everybody around me quit their jobs. We all entrepreneurs, you know what I'm saying? My team is entrepreneurs. My older brother is my partner, you know what I'm saying? Shine, my friend of over 30 years. That's my partner. You know what I'm saying? I got another partner, our COO. He's our head cultivator out of Jersey. But another family member, like, you know, this is like, we tied in, you know what I'm saying?
We in this shit.
Everybody grinding though. I take that back, not grinding. Shout out to Chef Hawaii Mike, who just put me on grinding with power and words.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Power and words.
Definitely.
So, you know, when people say grinding, they think that's like you grinding your gears. It's just like so there's no harmony in that. So I'm not grinding, I'm working. You know, we are working at and working towards our goal. Everybody's decided to be on the same page in terms of just being intentional about their time and where they're spending it, and it's paying dividends. You know, I wish we was millionaires right now.
Yeah, it's coming though.
But it's there.
Man,
it's there.
Keep going, and you're gonna see it.
Say that.
You can't skip steps to this shit. It gotta go brick by brick.
Brick by brick, baby.
It's a wrap. You done fucked up the whole philosophy.
The whole foundation messed up.
Thing.
So what's the point of getting up there if the foundation trash?
It's weak as hell. If your foundation weak, it's over.
Nigga, you're not even gonna enjoy it up there. You're gonna be the whole time you're gonna think about how trash your foundation is. You're scared to move. You're scared to move. Yeah. Nah, I ain't trying to live garden like that. I want to enjoy it.
Strong foundation.
For real. I'm gonna take our pace and man, move at our own pace, man. So it's been working out though, bro.
Good shit. Well, shit, we around the holidays, you know, Thanksgiving coming up. So shit, give some of your favorite food you looking to enjoy that thing on, you know what I mean? Couple food, good food. Good dishes.
I like this. I like this. Okay. I'm a foodie, bro.
Okay.
I'm super picky. But I love food. It's one of my favorite things.
My fiance is chef, so me too.
Yeah.
Shout out Chef E.
Yeah, shout out Chef. Yeah, wifey. Honestly, another shout out to Crenshaw Chicken and Waffles. That's my boy Greg.
My boy G.
G gonna do me a turkey this year. I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna do 2. He got the lemon pepper rub joints this year and occasion. So I'm a turkey guy. I love a good fried turkey. You know what I'm saying? I can eat turkey 3-4 days after.
Turkey sandwich,
you know,
some bread.
I'm with all that. Little turkey salad. I'm with it all. You feel me? Repurpose that. I might do a turkey hoagie this year.
Come on. Hook you up. Turkey hoagie.
I just thought about it. It might have popped in my head. Okay, so yeah, but I just got into yams recently, man. I've been fucking with the yams.
Especially if they good.
They're good.
They good for a little
I'm a snob about them now.
Yeah, they gotta hook it up though.
In a texture. You a marshmallow guy?
I'm saying people put them in their yams to make it. You know what I mean? So it depends who got that sauce.
That's true. That's true. I like them a little soft. I don't like them too crunchy. Okay. I don't like them like a mashed potato.
Yeah, too soft. Yeah, that's right.
That's right. That's right. Mac used to be my favorite. I used to love mac and cheese. You know what I'm saying? I still like it. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a fan. But you know what I'm saying? I think somebody told me on the internet, they said it stuck with me. It was like, that shit just cheese and noodles, bro.
Hey, damn it, for real.
And every time I eat it, I'm like, this shit tastes like cheese and noodles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's definitely a Big Mac. It gotta be good.
Gotta be good.
Yo, macaroni gotta be banging.
That's a fact. And I'm not sugarcoating that. If it's whack,
it's over. You know if your food whack if it's still there by the end of the night when everybody take their place off.
Take that whack and cheese on home.
Who made this? You take that.
Take that with you.
That's your pan, so you gotta take it anyway.
Take it home anyways, for sure. I need some foil. I got some. So yeah. So that's some traditional stuff. But if I'm getting a little on the like, I'm gonna flag myself a pause on the freaky side.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If I get a little freaky, I get a little on the freaky side.
Just a little.
I come. I like a crab leg.
Okay, crab leg.
Nice little crab leg. We did a seafood Thanksgiving a couple years ago. My brother inspired that. Shout out to Chef Rich. Yeah, so those are some like I'm interested. If I'm on a dessert side, it's crazy as I got older, bro. I'm one of them dudes that's like, I just need a little something sweet.
Just a little bit, yeah. Not too sweet, but I want. It's Thanksgiving, so we gotta have the sweet potato pies, the cheesecakes, the banana pudding. You gotta have the peach cobbler.
I'm an apple pie guy.
Apple pie.
I'm an apple pie
a
guy.
good apple pie. You can never go wrong with good apple pie.
Big facts.
Yeah, I like apple pie.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at with it.
Okay, yeah.
How about you?
I'm ready. Like, we got a big family, so we all come together. Tradition go to granny house. But the past couple years, we've been going to a hall because the family got so big. So everybody bringing dishes. And so I definitely understand what you said about that turkey. Oh, you come through. You can slide. You always can come through, my boy.
Cousin P.
For real. So we had 2-3 turkeys.
Fire.
We smoked one. We fry one, and then we do like a jerk rub or something. So it's 3 turkeys.
Hold on, is somebody on turkey duty? Is like going
My 2 uncles.
Okay.
Pat and Prentice.
They don't play that. They don't play that. They don't play that.
We do the turkey. We do the turkey for real. So definitely, I
respect.
Stuffing with the gravy. I'm ready for the stuff.
Okay.
I'm ready for the stuff.
Hold on, now I'm not a big, I'm not a fan of necessarily of that, right? So what's the difference between stuffing and dressing?
It's damn near the same. I like dressing it because now you gotta whip the stuffing. Yeah, I mean you got to, and you gotta whip the dressing, but it's like more of a cornbread is however you make it. So the stuffing, you like, stuffing take more work, but that's why it be better.
Okay,
but I like both of them. As long as you got the gravy, I'm with it.
Whatever. Stuffing.
Man, I'm
whatever. Put it on my plate.
Put it on there. So that's good.
Okay.
The sweets, I like cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
I like cheesecake.
Basic or like a strawberry?
Strawberry or cherry. My granny make the cherry cheesecakes.
I like the syrup. I'm not really the fruit. I don't like the fruit of it. I like the strawberry, the cherry syrup. I like that. Yeah.
It's good though, man. Okay. But you know, it's all right. Scratch that.
All right.
Listen.
All right.
Since we on the family and the holidays, let's get to movies, right?
Okay.
What's some of your best scenes in a movie where they was at a table or having dinner or feasting at a table? What's some of your good movies? Funny joints too.
Funny joints. I gotta go. The first one before you said funny, first thing popped in my head was Nutty Professor.
The club.
Classic. Oh, Eddie is a goat for that, bro.
Genius.
He really made me forget it was him playing all the characters. No, hilarious.
Hilarious.
Like tears to my eyes funny.
That's a good one. Clumps is a good one.
Yeah, Clumps. I'm trying to think.
Top 3. What's your top 3?
Top 3. I'm trying to think of other.
It gotta go once. Give me top 3.
Do it gotta be movie? What about shows?
It could be shows, because shows was funny too.
Okay. Damn. Another one that come to mind. They really wasn't around the table as much. They did a lot of kitchen stuff. And I was into it for a few seasons. Was what's the joint with the Gallaghers?
Oh, that's my joint. Shameless. Oh, yo.
Crazy show.
Yo,
crazy people, bro.
My dog name is Frank.
No,
I swear to God. We named our dog Frank. He act just like the dad, bro.
Nah, that's fire.
I know my boy Frank, man.
Fire. Shout out to Frank Gallagher. Nah, word. That's a crazy joy. Around the table, they be crazy. They be crazy around the kitchen type shit. Oh, damn, a third. I'm trying to think. I'm gonna go classic. It's funny too, but classic. Soul food,
yeah, that's a class. You can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong with soul food.
Can't go wrong with soul food.
Big Mama, that speaks to my heart. I grew up like that. Like you said, big family. Go to granny house. We all packed in there. Kids in the basement.
Everybody from the basement to the
top.
attic.
Yeah, feel me? Teens upstairs, the kids in the bottom, adults in the middle. Yeah, everybody.
TV on, cars playing, music on,
dancing, all type of shit. Yeah,
come on, man.
Yeah, so those all resonate. That's a good question, man, because made me think of that. But yeah,
that's a guy.
I would say those are my. That's a good 3 that popped in my brain without me having to like sit down and write a list.
Yeah,
naturally that's what come to my brain. So
like
I think that gotta be the top for me. Word.
I like that.
Word. Where you at? Where you at with that?
I'm gonna go House Party 3. When Bernie Mac was at that table acting crazy, he said, "Nah, I know you. I know you."
They used to call you man. They used to call you Jumbo.
She said, "That's my own you."
Niggas call you Tom. Oh, that's a good one.
Oh my
That's a good
God.
one. Bernie, rest in peace.
R.I.P. to the back, man.
To the back, man.
Yo, that table was crazy.
Dog.
That table off the chain.
Nah, that's a funny table. That's a good one. That's a good one.
That joint. I go Wedding Crashers.
Okay.
When they was at the table, she was acting crazy.
Yeah, she was wilding. She was wilding, trying to get it. She was ready. She was ready.
I go with that one because that was wild.
Okay.
And what's that movie? The Wedding Ringer with Kevin Hart? Where they threw that granny on fire.
Oh
he threw
my
the mashed potatoes. I'm going to three at the table. I give it with the table.
Shout out to you. That was a good one.
That's good at. If we had something off the bench, what you got off the bench?
Off the bench. Who coming in the sub? Ooh,
yeah, who coming in the sub?
Let me. You got me on the fence. Now I'm trying to think. You got some good ones right there. Damn. I can't think of another one right now. I don't think I can't think of one. Let me marinate. It's gonna come in my. It's gonna come in my brain. I'm gonna think about it.
Okay, I go with the Martin show when that turkey they tore the turkey up.
Okay.
I go with that.
Well,
one.
I'm going. I double up. I'm going Martin with it because you was going there. I'm going with the dog.
Oh yeah, they was at the table.
Yeah, they was at the table. I'm going with Martin when he was Nino Brown.
Bro, man, stole the CD player.
Man, my boy's about to tear that shit up over that. That man ran out on Gina and everything over that shit. Oh, man.
Cuss Cole out and all that.
Everything, bro. Black on the
Oh, yeah. Nah, you won on that one. That one right there, classic.
Nah, that was a collab because you came with the Martin. You really inspired me. I thought that's where you was going. But I like that joint, too, when they cut the turkey open and that shit had the blood.
Man. They said, who the cooked the turkey, man?
That nigga said, I know my mama biscuits.
I did.
I know my mama biscuits.
The biscuits, the pasta peas like they used to do.
Has peas like they used to do. Oh man, that's a good one. That's a good one. Them good ones. That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
Man. What's next for Red? What you got planned? What's in the future for you?
Oh man, so that's immediately, man. So all right, so to contextualize what we're trying to do, so we really can like put a percentage of like where we at towards our end goal, right? So it's always been our dream, really, as we like start finalizing what we're gonna look like. It's like our value is in filling the void, and we always believe if we bring value to the situation, we can never die, right? That's we want to be the remote control of, or have the value of a remote control. Right? People don't think about it like that, but you can't buy any appliance now really without a remote. It's just built in. You know what I'm saying? That kind of necessity to the industry makes you, inexpensible. You can't be thrown away. You're not disposable. So in that, we see that we want to own space, right? How we take up space in cannabis. And so, but we started in events and really saw that we were being tolerated a lot of places. And so we saw the vision as like, all right, we want to be able to own event space for sure. At least our own. And then we started seeing our colleagues and people that were also, following our path and things. And everybody was having the same issue, like, yo, I can't do it here. They don't want to let me do it. So I was like, okay, then there's also a revenue stream because we can rent out the space. And so like owning the space that way. But then we start thinking about like what other people need, what consumers ain't just partying all the time, it just ain't events. How about workspace, right? You want to sit around and chill and I want to burn. But I also want to get my work done. Where can I do that at?
Right.
So workspace, lounge space, right? Where I can just chill and put my feet up, right? Everybody know about the lounge idea itself. And then large venue event space too, right? Weddings, concerts, right? And so again, filling that void is how we want to grow. Right now, the first step to that was being licensed, being legal, and doing that in your first state. The big players in the game are known as MSOs or multi-state operators.
Okay.
And so eventually the goal is for everybody to be an MSO. You know what I'm saying? I think we can have a harmonious relationship with the existing MSOs if we see the advantage of them being allies with us. We're facing the same problems. They need banking, They need to make sure compliance is reasonable. All the problems we got at the small scale and the big scale. So don't need to be having that beef. And again, we all got the goal to be multi-state operators. And so for us, getting a license was first step, right? Getting our building is next. We're kind of getting right to the end of a zoning scenario we had to do, which was a zoning amendment on our property. And then once that's done, we can start our actual build out. And so that's kind of like immediate on us, is making sure we got the funds for that. We got a little bit of capital we've raised through friends and family. We got another private investor who's been kind enough to, help us out, but we need more capital. So
right.
That's 100% on our mind about, getting some money in our pockets so that we can finance this thing. But, once that's in place, we're going to get into production. Our first phase 1 of being a standalone location will be taking over our production of Dirty Lemonade. Right now, shout out to Biza Botanics. They are our co-packer, right? As a licensed manufacturer, we source our cannabis and then they process it for us into a beverage for us. But we'll take over that in-house once we open up our space, as well as our cultivation setup. So we'll be growing. We got 3,500 square feet of indoor space that we can use. We plan on growing the gassiest, fire shit you can imagine. Shout out to, again, James Jackson, our head grower. And shout out to Jesse Horton, who's the head of Loud, as well as Grand National, which is Carmelo Anthony's company.
Okay.
He is I call him the king of genetics, you know what I mean? Just growing. He's got the best green thumb I probably ran into, especially from a black cultivator by far. And, those two guys together is a dream team. And so James and Jesse is going to give us some shit you've never seen. It's about some fresh stuff, things that we've popped, not genetics that maybe oh, I took this, KK from Wiz Khalifa and I paired it with, Burner's, cookies and I made this thing my own. No, these are strands that we've, cultivated that genetically, these guys have actually put the work in to create. And so we're bringing that to market, man. And so between those two things, raising the capital for that, making sure we got that, that's where our mission right now. And then taking Dirty Lemonade to the next level. Honestly, that is really our focus right now. We are 60 days in to sales. We're officially in, I think we just got into our 21st store. Across the state.
Right,
so, thank you, dog.
Thank
you. So we super excited. That's been a learning, curve too, right? I think we can blow up even bigger. But having the capital to scale is major.
You gotta have the capital.
For sure.
Gotcha.
For real. I was just saying that I just came from Capitol Hill in DC. Shout out to NCR, National Cannabis Roundtable. Shout out to Hub and my family, Precious brand in Jersey, Turk Bros, Jeremy, Hawaii Mike, as I mentioned earlier. We all went down there and we lobbied for this Safer Banking Act, bro.
Okay.
And what this does is right now, we jumped through all these hoops. I told you all this shit that we did to become a licensed entity, right? And I haven't really scratched the surface on some of the stuff that we had to do and the money we've had to spend. And man, it's been just that's been a journey. But after all that, right, we finally set ourselves up to be a legal company, and federally, banks won't touch us. So because it's a federally illegal, it's a Schedule 3 drug is listed as, which is crazy. Schedule 1, excuse me, on the same level as like heroin, and insane, right? Insane. So, but because of that, banks are federally insured. So their fear is that if I take in and I do business and give money out to a cannabis company, although they're in a legal state, right? New York State is legal, right? If you do business in New York State as a bank, even though you're a federally funded bank, your New York State, to us in theory, should be protected because it's a New York State entity where it's banking and financing a legal New York State business. Why would that be a problem, right? In theory. But of course, federal regulation makes them scared of that. And so the Safer Banking Act, which has been on the House floor 7 times, passed 7 times, shot down at the Senate quite a few times. We're hoping that we can get it in at the end of the year. We went down to the lobby because of what I'm talking about in terms of being able to scale. If I can't have access to capital like any other industry, if you got a trucking business, you got a roofing business, a nail shop, a hair salon, any of these things, you can go to a bank and say, I got a good plan.
Right.
Look at this. Look at my numbers. Let me show you. I got credit I've built up. I can't leverage any of that shit and go into the bank and say, I need money for my cannabis business. And so if you're not going to allow me to do that, now I'm missing opportunities. I'm telling you, I got the entrance. I got the industry, bro. I bust my ass. And so the people that are now standing up and got dispensaries, these are my friends.
Right.
I've been knowing them. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are new. I might not have met them, but if they meet me, we 1 degree apart. They probably know one of my friends.
Right.
So the thought of saying, yo, I want Reggie's beverage in my shop, they're not really tripping. They're like, sure, we would love to have you. But now I got to slow that train down because I can't even distribute. I can't scale to buy the equipment, to buy or have to set up my infrastructure to be able to deliver on that promise. So then I lose product integrity. And now nobody wants my product because I can't deliver on my promise. It's taking 6 weeks to get shit out here. Right. And so it's these things that are kind of like combating our ability to be successful. And so advocacy and advocating for that is also immediately on the plate in terms of like what's next for us. What we're doing is trying to get safer banking passed. We want to, of course, again, get dirty lemonade in front of as many consumers as possible. And we strategically started to focus on our region. So you guys should see a lot more in the area. Most dispensaries should be picking it up very soon, up until at least Syracuse. Again, we got quite a few stores in New York City already, so we're gonna be continuing to service them. But yeah, man, it's a real sticking point to make sure that we are putting our energy into the shit that really is mattering. Just really trimming the fat on making sure our bandwidth is like being maximized because we're doing everything, bro. We're a small shop, we're a small business, but we're efficient. And as we take on more tasks, that's becoming more and more difficult and consistent.
Y'all motherfuckers ain't missing.
You gotta stay on it, dog. You know what I'm saying? And I think that also, to your point, man, that has been a part of our secret sauce too, right? Like just staying consistent. But again, that's why we told ourselves those 4 pillars matter, because if we hadn't set those pillars, we'd be chasing being consistent at events. When we evolved past just events, we still do events. We still do a lot of spot stuff. Shout out to Shine for doing Shine Harvey. We just did Black Cannabis Week out in Philly, and we brought a cool installment there where we brought like we call it Friendly Feud. You know what I'm saying? And it's cannabis based, and we do some real cool shit. It's still activity based. We still doing dope shit, but those things are intertwined with our mission of making sure that we're adding value, and we're adding value more than just the events. And so the consistency of adding value. As long as we consistently doing that, we're gonna be relevant. Sometimes that's gonna look like education. Sometimes it's gonna look like an event. Sometimes it's gonna look like a product. Sometimes it's gonna look like a podcast. As long as we just consistently making sure we, putting that value out there, bro. For real, man.
For real.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, we gonna slow the bus down, man. Y'all heard it first, man. Can we get a part 2? We might have to pop up at the house. We might have to pop up at the house.
Listen, we ready to bring y'all through. We weren't ready to get y'all in here officially for a couple months, but yeah, hell yeah. We definitely doing a part 2. And I gotta bring the guys.
Gotta bring the guys.
I gotta bring the guys.
The guys be here, Uncle be here.
Uncle be here. We can really turn it up. You know what I'm saying? This is the intro episode.
Oh yeah. Part 2.
Part 2.
Y'all stay tuned, man. So I appreciate it, man.
Thank
you already know, nothing but love, my boy.
Thank you for having me, bro. You know that, dog.
All right,
you know that, my baby. Word.
And hey, we out.